Oh, what's going on, Spurs fan? It looks like the Spurs might be heading to being swept in the NBA Finals after they dropped Game Two, in a tough way. I don't even. I mean, I broke my phone, so I usually have a border right here that's created that tells you clever saying or whatever. But my phone is toasted after that game, so it's just me with no border. So, man, I don't want to talk about this game too long. It is just words cannot really describe the feelings that I'm feeling right now. I forgot even I scheduled it at a certain time, or I thought I was scheduled it right now, but um the Spurs just didn't have it tonight. They just couldn't get together. They had a miraculous comeback in the second half that was really shocking that they thought they were going to pull it off. I mean, everything went right in that comeback situation. Um Towards the end of the game, I want to say the last 6 minutes. I mean, the Knicks were horrid from the field. I think they only had like one field goal. The Spurs were perfect at one point, and they had like 14 points to the Knicks 1 point. It was just a miraculous thing of the Spurs were able to get back into that game after just really struggling. Just some boneheaded turnovers. The Wimby the Wimby Castle misconnection was terrible. Obviously, we were used to Wimby bringing up the ball at times. Nah, the Spurs are definitely not going to win two in New York. This is going to be one of those win. This is going to be one of those games where it really hurts. You really feel it, and so I'll be shocked if the Spurs actually win one in New York. To be honest with you, this could be a sweep for sure. I know New York is fairly happy to finish it in New York. Um, so I'd be shocked, honestly. This could be a gentleman's sweep. Hopefully, if we get back to the San Antonio, who knows? They did beat us twice already in San Antonio, so home court doesn't look as good as it has before. But yeah, man, this is like I was saying, the Wimby Castle situation. Um, Wimby usually can bring up the ball later in the season, though. After the turnovers and things were going on, he let me turn my glasses off. He was deferring to our guards a little bit more, getting the ball to the guards. Um, but so there's a miscommunication. Castle obviously thought he was bringing up the ball and gonna start the fast break. Wimby was like, well, "Let me get the ball to you. You can push it forward, or you can handle the ball because you're a better situation." They Castle glanced back a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit of eye contact. Wimby thought he was looking at him, threw him the ball. Obviously, the back of his hits the back of Castle. Before that, there was another bonehead turnover. I can't remember right now off the top of my head what happened, but I remember Brunson ended up getting two free throws. Luckily, he missed one in a situation. Uh, and the game shot. Wimby got the ball and it was a pick and pop situation. Wimby dribbles into his shot, gets a clean look, back irons it, looks like it's on. I can't be really mad at that situation at that last shot. I'm a little hesitant to get the ball to Wimby in the clutch, but he's your best player. You gotta get to him. I don't really know what else to go to at that point. Fox had a little bit of motion going. Maybe if you can get Vassell a clean look, but I'm not really mad about getting Wimby stepping into that shot and getting a clean look like he did, and living with it if it goes in and out. Oh man, I thought it was gonna be an epic comeback. I thought we were gonna tie the series 1-1, and I thought that this was gonna be one of those like situations where it's gonna be a hard fought series. The Knicks just look better, man. I think the player of the game for me is probably Mikal Bridges showing up. I mean, Cat had a great game himself, and he's had a really good season. I mean, a great series, playoff series, and series. He's kind of shown Wimby some, a little bit of everything offensively, and ran the offense today. I think he had how many assists did he have today? 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 21 points. Cat's been, a really great offensive player. OG Anunoby's hitting his threes. He's in his Bruce Bowen bag. A little bit of little bit of Kawhi-ish at times. He's just being consistent, doing his thing. Kel Bridges, though, is the one that really showed up for them. I thought it was really a key piece to this win. Landry Shamet again gives you 13 points like he did last year. I mean, last game. That was big. We continue not to get any production off our bench other than Dylan Harper. That was a key to us all season, running up the score, averaging close to 118, being one of the better offenses in the league. You can't buy points from Keldon Johnson, 6th man of the year, 3 points. Just not a great showing. 1 of 4 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3. Not good on defense. It's just it's good. Not a solid 16 minutes. You're used to him 6th man of the year. You're used to him putting up points at the very least for your bench, and it's just not there. Luke Cornett still at 1 point doesn't look at the basket. Not the Luke Cornett that we saw earlier in the season. Doesn't look to score at all. We don't look to get the PNR with him. The lobs. He just looks incapable offensively, almost like a worse Jakob Poeltl. Doesn't even look for the pop shot no more. Just nothing from him at all. Dylan Harper luckily put up 15 points, played well when Castle went down. He kind of energized the team, played really well on defense, really ball hawking defense at times. Yeah, Castle's another guy I thought didn't play well today. Had some silly fouls, 4 really bad turnovers, 4 turnovers. Shot the ball better. He kept he was shooting more threes. We said keep it down a little bit. We get to the free throw line. He didn't get to the free throw enough for us. He only went 4 times. You try to get there 6 or 8 times, but he was playing through a lot of contact. There could have been some fouls here and there they could have called, but they were letting him play, so it is what it is. Vassell had a nice game overall. Some of his backline defense could have been a little bit better at times, but it's nitpicky. Fox showed up. Can't be mad at Fox. He played a decent, really good game. One of the better games I've seen from him. After a stinker last game, we were asking for him to show up. He did early on. Got a little fight with Brunson. It was kind of nothing, but Rick Brunson, his dad, came out of nowhere. It was a little weird, but yeah, Champagne didn't exactly have the game he normally did. Again, Brunson's gonna attack Champagne. I think that's a matchup they like. They can spam that at times, so that's a questionable defensive. You have to have Champagne out there for shooting, but Brunson's gonna attack him, and he just too herky jerky, too quick, has too many moves for Champagne. And Champagne could be knocked off his block a little bit. So Brunson hits him with that little forearm to get separation. Champagne can't recover at times quick enough to recover. So he had a tough game, and that's a place that the Knicks can attack. Defense rotations were not good. It looked like people didn't know where to go. They were making poor decisions. I don't like the decisions to keep leaving the corner 3 open. I'd rather leave that wing 3 above the break 3 open and live with that versus the percentage wise is corner 3s, especially they're going to have guys in the corners. They can hit them, either it be OG, Landry Shamet. Somebody is going to be in those corners. They can knock them down. Mikal Bridges. So I don't like that. Defensive rotations were off. They were not good. We got lost at times. We couldn't get Victor towards the paint at times. He kind of drifted again on the 3-point line. The numbers look good. 29 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. Too many turnovers from our 4 blocks. Too many turnovers from our ball handling guys. Vic had 4. Fox had 4. Castle had 4. Harper had 2. I think everybody totaled for 16 turnovers. That's just way too many. What really killed us was the free throws. 19 to 27, 70%. You miss 8 free throws, you lose by 1 point. So you make a couple of free throws, you win this game. So you can easily look at the free throw, and that's one of the big things that I look at in this game is the free throw, and the ability to hit free throws. 19 to 27 is unacceptable. in any kind of game, but in the middle of a finals playoff game where you're fighting, every possession matters, every point matters. That's just not going to get it done. You can easily point to that. The team prides itself on being a fast break team. They've been able to dominate that and be one of the top teams. I think, if not the top team in transition, especially in the playoffs. They lose that battle 19-11. So it's a +8 for the Knicks in that situation. If that's your strength, and you get beaten with one of your strengths, that's not a good not omen that you're going to win the game. So losing the fast break points, the free throw disparity on misses, that's going to lose you in close games. 16 turnovers. I mean, you can point to a bunch of these things. And at the end of the day, it was a great comeback by the Spurs. A little bit too late, but they dug in. They came back. They crawled back. So shout out to them for that. But then just boneheaded mistakes, costly turnovers. Not really like we talked about it all season long. Like when the offense is rolling and people have rhythm and they're playing they're playing free and open. They kind of like have confidence. Then the offense looks great. But when things are going to hell and you're trying to figure out who to go to, what plays to go to that will help the offense, not struggle. The Spurs tend to look a little lapsed in the half court offense. They struggle a little bit in the half court offense on where to go, how to get Victor to his spots, how to get. Are we going to Fox? Are we gonna try to get Vassell on some kind of three? Like, what are we doing offensively in the clutch situations? And it's kind of like the scary part of this series is I feel more confident in the Knicks in clutch situations than I do the Spurs because of Brunson and they have Cat and whoever else is going on. And if they double, we saw again, we had trouble again like we did in the SCGS in the OKC series where we would double Brunson or double SGA and they would get open shots because we couldn't rotate correctly, or it was just they played better basketball, moving the ball and getting to the open shots. And that once again, that kind of showed its head a little bit. We did do better, and that's when we went on that run when we single coverage Brunson. That really helped when you were able to single coverage Brunson and play him straight up, and then try to figure out everything else from there. I think that was a better solution to the Brunson situation versus throwing the doubles at him and trying to hope that people weren't going to make shots because Landry Shamet showed up. Mikal Bridges had a great game. People were going to make shots, and they were able to. OG drove the ball. I thought Wemby sometimes didn't close out on shooters enough, and then he got blown by. And like we saw a couple times, he got blown by in a situation. OG's the one that stood out to me, where he blew by him and he settled himself and dunked on him. Yeah, man, just those are the three key things for me: is the fast break points, losing that by 8, the free throw, hitting only 70% of your free throws is gonna haunt you. They lost a 3-point percentage the battle, 15-11 makes, so they were -4 in that situation. We talk about you can't if you're gonna you have to make up those. If you're gonna lose the 3-point line, you have to make up those points in some other ways. Either via rebound, offensive rebounding, which they got, it was a +5 for the Knicks. I got offensive rebound, and we saw the situations where Knicks were able to get key rebounds, kick it out, hit a 3, get extra possessions that killed them in key situations too. Yeah, but the fast break points, the free throw percentage, they lost some really key battles in this game, and they were lucky to be in this game after his a amazing comeback situation, and they just didn't finish it, man. They didn't finish it, and now the Spurs are down 0-2 to the Knicks. Knicks will be heading home. The Spurs, after a tough loss, I don't know how a young team is going to really rebound from this situation. They've been resilient all year, but this seems like a different situation where the bench isn't really clicking. There's a lot of question marks on where to go in the clutch. How do you solve the Knicks problems that they present for us? Because they're a better shooting 3-point shooting team than probably the OKC Thunder are. They're a smart team, they're an experienced team. The look a little inexperienced in clutch situations right now. So it looks like the Knicks are going to go on to possibly either go up 3-0 or win the series for either win go up 3-1 or win the series 4-0 over there in New York, unless miraculously the Spurs win 2 in New York, which would be crazy. So overall feeling is pretty low right now. The situation is pretty low. It feels a little um down and out right now. I can't believe the Spurs are gonna, after all the getting through the Western Conference, they're gonna go down and possibly get swept by the Knicks. Is an ugly feeling right now. It's kind of sinking in a little bit. But the Spurs need to bounce back. They need to play like they did in the last 6 minutes through a whole 48. Um, or how I can't remember how long the games are, to be honest with you right now. My head's throbbing from this game. Oh man. Spurs are just gonna have to play better. I don't They're gonna have to find a way to get more bench production. Keldon's gonna have to wake up. Like that's a big part of our bench. I've given up on Cornette or Harrison Barnes or Carter Bryant, any of those guys really showing out. You're gonna have to rely on the starters. Yeah, man. It's looking tough right now. The offense isn't what it was. So yeah, we'll find out if the Spurs are able to do it. What happens in game 3? We'll be locked in post game show. Like I said, I don't really want to spend too much on this game. It's kind of depressing right now. Um, Shout out to my guy Marshall out there watching the game. Or I think he's at work. My bad. At work. Yeah, Knicks in 4. The West overrated. Pacers would have beat OKC last year. Tyrese didn't get hurt. Spurs too young. West overrated. Properly rated. Probably it's. I don't think there's a big difference between the Knicks were just a great team, man. They're a great team overall. Um, I think the Spurs beat the Pistons pretty easily. If they play them, they might have trouble with the Cavs. We don't know what a fully healthy OKC team does. We don't know what a fully healthy Denver team does. Fully healthy Timberwolves team does. The Spurs had a luxury of a little bit of injury help in the West for sure. The Pacers do beat OKC in my opinion if Tyrese doesn't get hurt. Tyrese doesn't get hurt. He was absolutely cooking in that game, and I thought the pressure that the Pacers offense put on OKC was tough. Drive to the basket. Yeah, we saw a little bit of early on success driving to the basket. Wimby got downhill to the basket. Vassell pump faked and went downhill to the basket. Castle tried to go downhill to the basket, get fouls, but they weren't really calling it. But yeah, I thought they had a little bit more success getting downhill, getting to the cup, and they kind of abandoned it. But when you're one of the better shooting 3 teams in the playoffs, and you kind of live and die by that. And Wimby, you would like to see him in the paint, getting closer to the paint. But so the next kind of, that's what they are schemed up to do, is take away that paint. And Wimby tends to want to drift a little bit or start off a little bit longer so he can have more room to dribble and get downhill because he's a big player. So there's a little bit of issue. I think when we run the pick and roll, I think the guards tend to not look as for Wimby as much as possible, and they should be able to get him the ball more frequently, especially when he's rolling. But yeah, there's a little bit of concerning situations going on about having to get Wimby in the right positions at times. Let's see. Spending too much time with monks and that peaceful mind BS. Yeah, I mean, he went out there, learned some things. He went with KG too. I mean, let's not forget he was with KG at one point too. He spends plenty of time with other Spurs greats. So, yeah. So, but he definitely needs to inflict more of his presence on this series if we're going to get back into it. And it's about other guys too. Though, like he can show up as much as he wants, but take over games. But it's about the other guys showing up, particularly the bench guys. We need some more bench help. And that's just showing up right now in this series. Yeah, you have to have a killer mindset in the finals for sure. You definitely have to be locked in. He's still young. Obviously, Wemby's a young player. He's gonna have to learn these things and go through it, trial and error. But yeah, you definitely want to see him insert his dominance a little bit more and understand uh how to get to his spots better and how to put him in. And your coach needs to put him in better spots, and your teammates need to find him when he's in the better spots. So it's a little bit of everything for sure. Uh, they need to slow down playing too fast. I mean, that's they actually need to play fast because they can't really play slow. They don't really have a um go to offense right now to where they feel comfortable, um figuring out, right? The ball's not in Fox's hands, it's in Castle's. He's the head of the snake right now. At this time, he was out, so Fox was in there, and you trust him a little bit more in the clutch situations. That I don't think they really know what to do with Wimby or really what to do. That situation. Yeah, no, have a good night. Yeah, have a good night. It's frustrating. I'm frustrated myself talking about this. I mean, I'm trying to remember the game off the top of my head too. I was just watching the game, just being frustrated at times, being mad at times, being great. It was amazing to see the comeback. It just fell, flat, and it was just incredibly frustrating. And but yeah, like I talked about the key areas that we lost in. Um, the Spurs are going to have to soul search, and they don't want to get. I mean, the worst thing is just playing for pride, praying for the city, playing for the name on your front of your jersey, and even the name on your back, man. You don't want to be known as that team that gets swept. And it's not a foregone conclusion, no matter how much we talk about Wimby's greatness, all Castle's greatness, Harper's greatness, the young team, how many times they're gonna be there in the finals. You can't really rely on that. It's not guaranteed that you're gonna ever see another finals again. So you have to play with everything you got. You have to leave it on the floor, and you have to match, what the Knicks are bringing. And don't ever take that for granted. Yeah, we got the brooms out. Yeah, I mean, you're allowed to put the brooms out. It's not looking good for us for sure. But yeah, the Spurs have to realize that you're not promised to come back. A lot of things could happen in a situation where you're not going to come back to the finals ever again. And how do you want to go out? Do you want to, you got to fight, and now the Spurs are going to have to fight. And I said I'm hoping that they have pride enough not to get swept. I mean, that's the number one goal, is not to get swept. Play with pride, force it back to San Antonio, and then play it one game at a time from there. You get your confidence back. You play in San Antonio, you win that game. Now it's 3-2. Now a little bit more pressures on the Knicks. Now you got to win that one in New York, which is going to be tough. But then who knows? But it starts one game at a time. It starts with doing the little things, the free throws, the rebounding, the defensive rotations, tank accountability, playing with heart, playing together. And we'll see what the Spurs are made out of. So we'll find out in game 3 what happens, what goes down. But right now, things are not looking good. Things are doom and gloom for San Antonio right now. It feels a little bit doom and gloom after that comeback too. But the Spurs are going to have to pick themselves up. So we'll see what happens, man. Thanks for coming out. The Spurs are everybody. I'm Greg. I didn't even say my name was. I usually have Marshall here, Marshall Best on Twitter, Marshall at Marshall Best 14 on Twitter. Go check him out, follow him. Subscribe to the channel. Go check us out on all social media platforms. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will be back for game 3. Peace.